everybody. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment. We are on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMedia. TheMostMen.com is the website. info@themostmen.com is the email if you want to email to us. Okay. I'm kind of limping today, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was up till, 5:30 this morning. But
you ain't used to it.
Huh?
You're not used to it anymore.
And dude, I'm not gonna spill the beans who it is, but it's a girl that I'm talking to, and it's a girl that I've known forever. I mean, like, talk real quick. I just want to make sure we're rolling.
Yeah, I can do it. I had a few beers last night myself. Okay. Stayed up a little late, but I'm in better shape than that.
Oh, dear God, man. This is like the third time in a row that the first time we talked, I looked up and I was like, do you know what time it is? And she's like, oh, what? And I'm like, it's 3:30 in the morning. You know, and I've got to be up at 6. So I made it through that day. And then it happened again the other night, like on Friday or Saturday well, it could have been like Thursday or whatever. Then Friday was the day that it was brutal. But I look up and I was like, do you know what time it is? It's 5:30 in the morning and we're still on the phone. That's what I'm saying. Me and her can get, and that's what happens on these podcasts, by the way, is you get into a good conversation with somebody and it just fucking goes, man.
You should have just watched the sun come up if you're going to stay up that late.
Oh, dear God. Last night, man, but last night I hit like my second wind, you know. So, of course, I drank a couple of beers and took a couple of shots to pass myself out, you know. And, yeah, so.
That's not a good long-term strategy.
No, I'm limping today, boys, so.
It'll help you get to bed, but it don't help you get up.
Oh, no, dear God. Oh, I know what happened. The first time that we did this, we stayed up till 5. The first time we stayed up till 5:30 in the morning. I woke up with fucking people in my house. I forgot they were showing my house at 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's nice.
I'm butt naked in my bed. You know what I mean? It's just like, what in the fuck is going on? You know? Oh, look at this. Look at that. I'm like, what the hell? Who's in my, you know?
Yeah, you wake up in that fog where you.
Like like waking up on Saturday morning when you got to work and you've been out all night Friday night, you know, when you're 16 years old, you wake up going, you know, just like chugging old rotten tea out of the refrigerator or something, you know. It's just, oh, God.
Then you remember saying to yourself, I'll worry about it tomorrow. I know I should go to bed, but I'll worry about it tomorrow. And you're like, oh, shit, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's here, motherfucker. Yeah, so.
Yeah, don't do that more often than you have to. But
yeah, so that's a most man moment right there. I'm 45 years old, man. I ain't no spring chicken no more. I can't. You know, and I wasn't like drinking last night, but I was drinking. You know, I had like 7 or 8 beers. You know, it's still like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, just one more. You know, because it didn't even feel like I was buzzed. Oh, you know who I'm talking about out there, fucking asshole, keeping me up all night. But no, it was cool. It was cool because, man, like I said, I'll talk about this and then we'll get into everything else. Because this was the topic that we got into last night, and it was deep. Okay? And, but she's just one of those girls, man. I mean, and I don't know how to. Well, number one, I don't want to get into our personal relationship on here. I don't want that would be disrespectful to her. But this was, I mean, I had a girlfriend in high school that I cared about her and loved her and all that, but this was the first girl that I was just like, you know what I mean? And because she's beautiful. She just got a personality. Like, I've never met anybody like me. And that's what she is. She is a female version of me.
Good grief.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, there's rarely any time in your life where you meet somebody that when you talk to them, you know that they're understanding what you're saying, and you understand everything that they're saying, because it's like talking to your own self. It's really weird, but she's that girl that, yeah. But we just weren't ready when we were younger and all that kind of stuff, and then that, like I said,
then life happens,
Well, I mean, she was in college, lived in San Antonio, and I mean, she was from up here. But it wasn't meant to be. But we've always bounced in and out of each other's lives at the right time. You know what I mean? Like, I would just think of something and I'd message out to her saying, "Hey, checking on you, seeing how you're doing," and I would be there at the exact right time that she needed it. And vice versa. Now, there's been more on that side than on my side, but I'm just saying, we always pop in and out of each other's life at either the worst time or the perfect time. Because the worst time, you're wishing, well, maybe we should have done something here, And then it's just it's weird. It's weird, but it is. She's just that, my ex-wife hated her to death. Jealous. Oh my God, jealous. But I could talk to this girl and just have a conversation. It wasn't like it was sexual all the time. You know what I mean? She's like my best friend. I'm telling you, she is like me looking in a mirror, female version. Fucking nuts. When we were younger, you want to talk about good times, man. This was the one that was like, okay, let's let it loose tonight. Like, I mean,
yeah. Good luck keeping that going.
No, I'm just saying. But I'm just saying, she's the one that would. I could be fine just walking around naked, and she could be naked too, and it'd be no big deal. Like, there's no holes barred. I mean, there's no. I know that I can tell her anything and not be judged. That's the good thing. And she's super smart. I mean, dude, this girl can quote the Bible like I've never heard before. And she knows just shit. I mean, she knows so much about the way life works in the mind and all. I'm telling you, it's some deep shit. But she asked me last night. She said, "So that's what I want to talk about today."
All right.
And it was before it was like she pulled something out of the sky that I was going to talk about today. But she asked me. She said, "What is love to you?" And I was like, "My God, was that not a topic on my mind?" It's not like.
Or is that a loaded question?
Well, it's not. It wasn't like, do you love me? It was, what does love mean to you? Like, what is love? Because that's what we talked about last night, was love, loyalty, and liars, and cheats, and thieves. You know what I mean? Like, how things go along in life. That you can, and that's what I'm saying. I can truly say that I love this person, not for lust or for she's beautiful. It's not that. But what I'm saying is, I just love her because of who she is. She is a beautiful person inside and out. I mean, like, the world really needs her. Like, she's got all these poems and poetry and all this shit. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to get into her. That'd be disrespectful. But I'm just saying, the world needs a dose of what comes out of her brain that she writes down. It's fucking beautiful. So, but that's what she asked me. Like, she said, "What is love to you?" And I was like, "Look, the only person that I truly loved was her, or still do, or not." That's what I'm saying. It's not like This isn't like a love story. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, she's the only one that I ever truly loved. Just like, because what is love? For women, sometimes it's just checking boxes. You know what I mean? If you're good looking enough to have a baby with, if you can provide, if you're a nice person, if you're semi-respectful or whatever, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people that get married that aren't in love. Like me and Ann, we loved each other, but I wasn't in love with her. I wasn't. And towards the end, I was just like, yeah, you were good enough to get us down the road. Like, you know what I mean? Like you were good enough to have kids. That's a harsh way of saying it, but I'm glad that I had my kids with her is all I'm saying. I didn't love her.
Wow, that's heavy.
Yeah, but it's true. Because, I mean, did I care and love her? Yes, but when you take and disrespect and that's not you don't do that to somebody that you love. You don't do that. You're supposed to be loyal and that's what we got. That's the topic we got on last night. And I mean, look, we went down a well hole of is love real, or is it just something that we say? That's what I'm saying. It's kind of a deep hole. Yeah, you love somebody, you love your parents, you love your kids, and you love your family, you love all that. But talking like what we've been sold our whole fucking life.
Well, that's the thing. What's everybody individual's personal definition of love? I bet you it's all over the map. There is no like correct answer. In the dictionary, love, oh well, I'm sure there's some just generic super duper feelings or something.
Yeah.
But so I guarantee there's somebody that loves somebody more than somebody who's like, oh, I love them. This person doesn't even say they love them, but they actually exert more of what love really is than the person who thinks they're maxed out with love. Like, you know, their level of comprehending, you know, would you jump in a flaming pit to save this person? You know, somebody would be like, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, I love them, but I mean, hell, it's kind of hot over there.
Yeah.
So I have no idea how to really define what.
Well,
what
I don't
love
either.
is.
I'm just saying, what is it? Like, she sent me something last night that again, exactly what you're saying is everybody's got their own definition of what it is.
And their perception.
Right. And how much shit they want in their Wheaties.
Right.
Right. So, where's it at?
Somebody, if you love them, you'll eat their whole bowl of shitty Wheaties for them.
Yeah.
But you won't have any shit in your own Wheaties.
Okay, so this is what she sent me last night, and this is the kind of stuff that she does. It's crazy. But love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It doesn't insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth.
See, that's the bullshit definition in the dictionary right there.
No, that's Corinthians 13:4.
Well, I'm saying love's not irritable, man.
Yeah,
there's no way you don't just get freaking.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it is that's it goes back to everything that, you know, when people go through shit in their life, you know, like with your family and the people that are supposed to love you. Sometimes will fuck you the hardest. You know what I mean? Like the people that you think that are there that love you and think you can count on them, you can't even count on them. And they don't mean to. I don't think they even mean to. I just don't think that their definition of it goes back to what we talked about a couple podcasts ago. Nobody gives when you get down to it, nobody really gives a fuck about you except you. You are your own best friend. You are your own loyal. trust mate, soulmate, and all that kind of stuff. Like you are it. Now, can you have people in your life that you love? Absolutely. But when shit hits the fan, you find out real quick that love it. Like you said, am I willing to jump in the fire for that guy? I don't know. I love you, bro, but
yeah,
that's air conditioning over here feels pretty good.
It's the generic love you, man.
No, well, it's like the dude sinking in quicksand. Are you going to jump in and save him?
Just tell him to quit squirming around. He'll be all right.
Throw him a log.
What was that one movie where he threw him a snake? Raiders of the Lost Ark or something. He's sinking into quicksand and somebody threw him a snake. He hated snakes. So do you grab the snake or do you drown? What do you do?
Well, I was talking to a friend of mine. Hell, I was talking to him last night. He watched a podcast this morning, sent some cool messages over. But anyway, he got in that situation where he had a friend of his that was sinking in quicksand out by the Brazos River. And the dude was like, are you going to sit in here and let me die? And he was like, if I come in, and he's like, I'm going to go get something to get you out. But I'm not jumping in there with you.
Yeah, what's the point of both of you being in there?
Yeah.
What can you do to get them out? When you're in there, you can't get them out.
Well, that's what he did is he went and got a log and put it across to where the guy could, start inching himself out.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what old Western. It was the same thing. The guy was sitting in there, like, you're going to let me die, man? And the dude's like, I'm afraid so. I'm still 6 feet this side, and you're not, and I'm not coming in there.
Yeah, because it ain't going to do any good. But literally, you don't sink in quicksand. You kind of go up to about your chest.
I don't know. There's been people that have.
No. Well, because they probably squirmed around in the river rose or something. But
that's how the land.
You literally won't. If you just hold your breath in water, you float. Quicksand's more dense than that. You even float higher in it. You just freak out when you're starting to go down, waist.
Yeah.
Once your waist and your belly button, you think you're gone. But, you go down a little bit more and then that's it.
Well, the land down in South Texas where I had that concrete plant down there in Cuero, holy cow, dude. You want to talk about some weird-ass soil. That down there, that almost put us under the first year. It rained, here I am putting in a concrete plant. It fucking rained for a year. They were measuring it in feet, how many rain we've had, Well, we have 15 inches this year. No, we've had 8 feet of rain this year. But you could, in certain spots, you could be just walking on, it would be muddy, or, squishy. But dude, there were some spots where our trucks would sink if they were in the yard. They would just sink all the way to the fucking motor mounts just because of. But I mean, you could literally walk, put your foot down, and tap on the ground, and you would shake an 8-foot circle. That's how. I don't even know what you call that land down there, but it's the weirdest. But there's quicksand down there. But I mean, seriously, my trucks would be driving we'd be get called out to a job, and if they just drove on the wrong path, they would just. And I didn't believe, because I remember the crane operator when we were setting up the crane. He was like, "No, man, I ain't coming out there. I'll sink my day." I'm like, "Dude, no, you won't." He's like, "Man, do you know where you're at?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. I'm standing right here in the flesh, But man, he was right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It was some of the weirdest shit I've ever seen. I mean, your shit would sink in a heartbeat. It was weird. So, most men out there, nobody loves you.
And stay out of the quicksand.
Yeah. If it's inevitable, take a log with you.
Well, you say nobody loves you. That's kind of a hell of
No,
a blanket statement.
Well, I'm just saying nobody. I'm not saying nobody cares about you, but really, it's like if you get up in the morning, you're the only one going to dictate your day, not anybody else. You know what I mean? Well, other employees and all that can damn sure derail your day. But what I'm getting
your
at,
day can get derailed pretty quick with new priorities.
Yeah, but my point that I'm trying to get at is that, yeah, what is love? And do you really think that people love you? The answer is yes. But my point is that you can't count on that to. I don't know what my point was.
Well, then there's tough love too,
Exactly.
Just because you're screaming for help, somebody's like, "I ain't helping you." Well, you don't love me. No, they've been telling you for 3 years. Quit drinking. Quit playing fucking video games. Quit doing stupid shit. Quit drinking and driving with no inspection sticker. Quit this. Quit that. Quit this. And then you go, "Oh man, my life just caved in on me. Come help me." It's like, yeah,
Fuck you.
yeah. I've been helping you the whole time. You didn't want my kind of help. Now you want the kind of help you're going to dictate that you want.
But I know what. Have you ever heard of the group Tough Love?
No.
Oh, fuck, I know who they are. I got yanked out of my bed at 2:00 in the morning tripping acid. This was back in my drug days, when I was a teenager. But I was raised by a single mom but I always had my shit together. I made good money. Like, if it wasn't for me, bills wouldn't have got fucking paid around the house. We wouldn't have had electricity and TV and satellite and telephone and all that. I'm the one that paid that shit. But I was so out of control because I didn't have a dad or anybody to go, "Hey, dumbass, you can't do that." If I tell you to be home at 2:00 in the morning, it means 2:00 in the morning. Till you want to fucking move out, the rules are, right? Well, I didn't think I had to live by the rules. It's because but I thought that I kind of earned my right to.
He with the gold makes the rules was kind of what you were going by.
I remember whenever I took the TV out of the living room, my mom said, like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "This is my fucking TV. I'll take it wherever the fuck I want to take it. You want a TV? Go buy one."
How'd that work out for you?
It was in my room. I took it in my room. Fuck y'all. No, but there's a thing called Tough Love. It's a group of men that it's for troubled teens that their parents can't control. It works. Let me tell you, it fucking works. Okay? They ripped me out of. I was tripping acid. Okay? And I got ripped out of my bed by my toes at 2:00 in the morning, thrown into the back of a truck, and drove God knows fucking where. It was like 2.5, 3 hours. Okay? Into the middle of a field, and they stripped me fucking naked. Well, I was already naked, but they made me put on some clothes before we left. Stripped me naked, and I had to even earn a fucking mosquito tent before I even got my underwear back. They were like, "You want to?" The next word out of your mouth is "Yes, sir." You're going to learn what respect is. Not that I didn't. Not that I was disrespectful. I was not. You know what I mean? But I was just one of those kids that my mom was like, "I don't know what to do with you." You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's kind of hard to tell me what to do whenever I'm taking care of. If it wasn't for me, shit wouldn't be getting taken care of. But I wasn't going to school. I wasn't doing the things that, I wasn't meant for school. But what I'm getting is that you earn your way back home. And I slept in a field for a weekend. But I had to earn everything back.
What a shitty weekend for them dudes. They're like, "Oh god, we gotta go get another knucklehead."
Oh, there was more than me. There was more than me. There's other people out there too. Other fucked up kids. They were really fucked up. I hup-tooed real fucking quick. I was like, "Man, get me the fuck out of here." "Yes, sir." "No, sir." "Yes, sir." Is there anything I can do around here for you, sir? Yeah. Shoe shine?
Got any other kids you need drug out of their bed? I'll help with that.
Yeah. I was like, fuck me, man. No, it's true. It's true. It's true.
So it's like an intervention before they called them interventions.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what my mom used to do to me whenever she couldn't control me. She'd do something like that or throw me in fucking rehab or something. You know what I mean? Just. And it wasn't that I was like a fucking horrible drug addict or an alcoholic. I was just doing everything that a teenage guy does. You know what I mean? But with my sprinkle of fucking nuts on top of it, you know what I mean? She just didn't know what to do with me. And that was her way of, she couldn't take me to church. That didn't work. She wanted to.
Good grief.
Yeah. So
you put her through hell in general, huh?
Oh, yeah, dude. I was a wild man. Well, I think you know the story, but dude, I was pronounced dead when I was 15 years old from alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, I can't believe she put me in rehab.
You know, shit,
drank yourself to death, and then, well, that's kind of harsh.
Hey, that's love. That's love. Because I remember, and I might choke up during this, but we definitely go somewhere else when it's time to leave here. I don't know where it is. You could call it heaven. You could call it whatever you want to call it. But there is definitely something that happens. Because I was pronounced dead, and I remember I didn't see what was going on in the room, but I could hear it from above. And I could hear them shocking me with those, whatever those paddles are they shock you with. But I could hear my mom screaming, and she was, like praying on my chest, like, don't give up. You've never given up on anything in your life. Don't give up. I heard her. I heard her begging me to not give up. But there was just like a weightlessness of, it's hard to explain. I don't even know how to explain it, but I can't see it. I just remember feeling it, and I remember hearing it. And it's just like what they told me whenever I had to go down and pull the plug on my dad. They were like, look, because I was like, well, when I walked in, I was like, hold up. I was like, y'all need to go get some fucking lawn chairs. This thing ain't over with. You don't know who you're fucking dealing with. This guy could pop up any minute from now and say, fuck this, get me out of here, And she told me, she said, because I was telling stories about him. I was like, you don't know who you're, this guy. She's like, she pulled me out in the hallway and she said, be careful what you say, because the last thing that goes is their hearing. He can probably hear everything that you're saying. Because when the priest read him his last rites, whenever we pulled the plug and it was time to and dude, he stayed alive for 4 or 5 hours with no life support. I mean, just would not quit. But I remember when the priest read him his last rites, and he knew that we were saying the prayers and all that with him, dude. And I could open up his eye like this, and it was just, it would open up and close like totally dead. I mean, you're just looking into a dead man's eyes. Really weird, really. But maybe what this is love. What love is. But when he read him his last rites, dude, my dad started crying. Like, he had tears coming out of his eyes. And he's totally, like, what do you call it?
Comatose and a half.
Yeah, there's nothing there. Nothing. And dude, tears were flowing out of his eyes. The craziest thing. I mean, in the feeling you got, you were like, wow.
He knew the party was over. The last rites, man, that's the end of the road.
Yeah. Maybe that's what love is. Who knows? It is what it is.
When my mom was on her deathbed, she was dying of lung cancer, and she could, barely talk and all. It was obvious she was going to be dead in short order. And so the nurse comes in, and my mom goes, we'd always go get a milkshake. That was our thing. Hey, you want to go get a milkshake? I'd go up to Cleveland to visit or whatever. What do you want to do? Well, let's go get a milkshake. So she goes, you could hear she just kind of said, milkshake, milkshake. I go, yeah. So I go to the nurse, like, as a matter, I go, yeah, we're going to go get a milkshake. And she's like, you can't get, it was just so funny. Like this nurse, like when you're serious, like, she would, hell, let's get up. Like if she could get up, like we wouldn't already be up and the hell out of here, like, but hell, go get a milk. What the hell? Are you going to stop us from going to get a milkshake? But yeah, she was in no shape to get a milkshake, but it was kind of funny about like, well, no, you can't do that. If she was capable of getting a milkshake, well, damn sure go get a milkshake.
Yeah. No, that's when my grandma passed. I went and got her a milk because that was the thing at my grandparents' house was Bluebell. I mean, they should have worked for Bluebell or bought stock in Bluebell. That dude, and my dad's was the same way. Bluebell. So I talked to my dad. I said, hey, man, she wants a milkshake before she dies. He's like, no shit, man. Good idea. Good call. And she was dead like 48 hours later. But, man, you should have saw the look on her face whenever – I mean, that's the best milkshake she ever had. And it was so wild just seeing the pleasure of her. I mean, you could tell she was enjoying every single bite, knowing it was her last.
Yeah, we'd had to give my mom like an eyedropper of milkshake. She wasn't even in shape to move or talk or nothing. But hell, that's what I should have done.
Yep.
Get the old ass milkshake for the road.
Yep.
Maybe I need to put that in my bucket list, will or something. Tell my kids.
Yeah.
When it's all over and I can't do nothing,
give me a milkshake.
Give me a milkshake, vanilla.
Yeah. That's what my grandma got. But I'm telling it was. That's when me and my dad were going home. He was like, man. He was like, you just bought yourself some. That was good, and yeah, it was. Yeah.
Well, I'm jonesing for a milkshake now after all of that.
Hell yeah.
Maybe tomorrow.
Okay. Right, well, let's get off the love. But no, we got into that, and that's why we stayed up all night. It was like, well, is it real? Especially for most men, young men out there, that's what we were kind of talking about. Is that there's a lot of women out there. Do they truly love you, or is it they consider love these boxes being checked?
Or how about this for a concept? When somebody tells their spouse, partner, whatever, that they love them, are they saying that because that's what the other one wants to hear? Or are you saying it because it's true? Or are you bullshitting yourself that, kind of what I'm supposed to say, or that'll buy me some more time till the next time I'm in the doghouse? Or
well, it's like I make it a point to tell my kids I love them as often as I can. Because you never know when your last day is. You know what I mean? So, and you hear people say this all the time. I wish I just could have said I loved them one more time. You know what I mean? I didn't get a chance to say I love you. Or
yeah,
before they passed or whatever happened. I just didn't get a chance to say. I should have said it that day. You know what I mean? Like, say a husband dies in a car crash or their wife or whatever dies in a car crash, and it was like, fuck. I could have just said I loved him that morning.
But if they know you love them, then you're kind of saying it every freaking 12 seconds without saying it. So
right, and then it's just it's a mute, meaningless point.
It's just another reason to drag your own ass through the mud. That I should have said I loved him one more time. I mean, nice if you did, but if you didn't,
you didn't.
But if they knew you loved them,
it doesn't matter.
It's almost kind of can go without being said, honestly.
I agree with that. I was never the type of guy with anybody. I love you. I've never been that. Because it's such a generic term that if it's thrown around all the time, then what is it? If you're just throwing it around to throw it around because it makes you feel better and it makes you feel like, or women. You don't tell me you love me enough. It's like, well, because you know I do. I don't have to fucking tell you every day. You know what I mean? Like,
there's part of that checklist box thing again. He needs to say he loves me.
Yeah. Why don't you tell me?
Why don't you just love me instead of telling me you love me? That's better.
Do I still look pretty? Do you love me still? Do you still love me the way you used to love me?
That sounds like insecurity type
yes,
shit.
It's fucking, and it seems like the more beautiful they are, the more they are. All the girls that I ever dated that were hot, they were the worst.
The worst.
About insecurity, you know what I mean? Because everything even though they're like, there's not much more that you could do to make yourself any more beautiful, you know. And it's like the whole thing of them, you know, pumping shit in their lips and ass implants, and you know that's a thing right now, right?
I believe anything anymore. The world's nuts.
No, butt implants. It's the Kardashians, dude. Having that big fat ass is a new thing. Is a thing. And if you ain't got it, let's get butt implants.
Guess it's easier than going to the gym. Just get butt implants. Going to the gym is kind of counterproductive.
Yeah. You'd actually gain something out of that. Do you still love me?
I'm so glad I'm past all that pop culture, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Well, but here's
fads and shit.
Yeah. Well, no, here's it kind of to the point, and then we'll move on. It's not like it used to be. Like, this new generation of guys, they're fucking manning up and saying, "Whoa ho." There is no more of this. Like, you've got boxes to check too. Like, you don't get.
I don't know. There's a lot of dudes going the other way too. You know, that are.
I know, but
it's snowflake thing or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, woke and all that bullshit. But I'm just saying there is kind of a,
maybe there's a divide, you know.
There is. There's a lot more. It's that's probably a bad way of putting it. Like a move. I'm just saying it's being talked about a lot more. And guys are listening because they're tired of getting fucking railroaded. You know, there's a lot of good women out there. That's what I'm saying. It's not every woman's bad. It's just, but there's a lot. That's what we were talking about last night. Is that it's the women that do they really marry you because they love you, or is it just because you check all the boxes? That's how this whole thing got brought up. And there's a lot of women out there that do. If you check the boxes, that's what I'm saying about this new, you know, men kind of stand, is that these girls now are, yeah, I'm a high value woman. You know, how? What do I get? What do you, me? You get this? Well, do you know how many this are out there? You ain't got a fucking brain in your head. You ain't got a job. You don't plan on it. You don't have. What do you fucking bring to the table? Are you respectful? Are you? I mean, you know what I mean. But but before,
and also, what do they bring to the table that is going to stay in some kind of stable thing? Because for the first 5 years, maybe that's all fine and dandy, and the dude buys into that, or the other way around, and then all of a sudden, 5 years into it, you know, I want something different.
It's time to start. Bill Burr. Do you watch Bill Burr at all?
Yeah, I know who he is.
He's fucking hilarious. But he had a bit that I saw. It was a while back ago, but he had a bit about that. You know, he's like, I got married, and he said, the only thing that I've realized is that I'm the only one that we're still fucking working on here. You know, when are we going to start working on you? You know what I mean? Like, I'm still a work in progress? No, I'm the same fucking lunatic that stands on stage and tells raunchy fucking jokes, and the same guy, that's who I was, and that's still who I am. But we're still working on me.
I think a big part of it is with the going forward, being happy, you know, obviously the partner's got to mesh. But like me and my wife's situation, I had, a bunch of brothers. They're all dead. She's got one brother. He's lived off in bumfuck forever. We literally have no family. I mean, we met down here. I had no family here. She had no family here. And people like on Thanksgiving, it'd be like, so what do you do for Thanksgiving? Oh, that's just so sad. You don't have any family. And Christmas, you don't have any family around. It's freaking perfect. Nobody dragging you off. Why ain't you coming over here? Da, 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 da. You don't have all these other fucking people in your life that they're idiots or losers or they got their own problems, and then they're going to interject how to fix your problem, and I wouldn't put up with that or da 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 da. It was me and her against the world.
Yeah.
So it was easy to have each other's back. There was no external nonsense going on.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful. Do I wish I had a bunch of family around? Yeah, as long as they behaved themselves and didn't do stupid shit. But good luck finding a group of people that don't do stupid shit.
No, every family's full of it too.
And then you'd get off into politics and all of that kind of stuff. If I had a big family, I'm sure we'd be flipping the frickin' kitchen table over on Christmas Day, all screaming, eat shit to each other.
No, every time we went to, not just her family, but every time it was like, I cannot wait to get the fuck out of here, because I'm feeling like I'm getting poked and prod for shit. You know what I mean? Like, what'd you get me for Christmas this year? You normally always do this, and it's like, fuck you. You're fucking 20 years old. I'm not buying you anything anymore. You know what I mean? It just.
You didn't buy my kids something, It's like, yeah, your uncle.
I'll tell you what happened is I'm the only one that ever. We did that Chinese gift exchange where everybody buys a gift for $100, right? And it's supposed to be universal, something that a man or a woman would want. Okay,
$100 money.
Yeah,
I'd just rather have the $100.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, but my oldest sister. Oh God, it used to drive me fucking nuts. Everybody, not everybody. I always brought damn good gifts, or actually spend $100. She would go out and spend $15 at the dollar store on a fucking mirror. No, I'm not kidding you. She showed up one year. Listen to this. This is not bullshit. This is fucking real. She showed up one year with a fucking $10 mirror from Dollar Tree or what's her other place? Hobby Lobby or Big Lots or that's where she shops, is Big Lots and fucking places like that. She'll spend a half a day in Dollar General. We were in Port O'Connor one weekend. The whole family was down there. She spent almost 3/4 of a day in the fucking Dollar General.
Yeah, I have no idea how to even comprehend that.
Huh?
I don't even know how to comprehend that.
And she was the valedictorian of her fucking class. Shows education's not everything, folks. Okay, so she showed up with and of course she's got 3 kids, so she had to bring 4 gifts, right? Of course, she's buying gifts for all her kids too. And that was the whole, okay. Well, even when they were adults, okay, because we did one for the adults and one for the kids, okay? Until the kids become adults. Once they become adults, then they get into the adult pool. Well, they never could afford their own gifts. So she would buy their gifts. So she'd show up at $50 worth of shit. But she would take out $500 because she's collecting for everybody. And what happens when you do the Chinese gift is, okay, 1 through 10, everybody draws a number, okay? Well, you pick a gift, and then you unwrap it, and it's like, okay, I guess I can deal with this. And then, but it can be exchanged 3 times, okay? Like somebody, you could get a badass gift card to like Outback Steakhouse, and you were the first person to get it. Well, I get a choice to either pick a gift or I could steal your gift card.
Yeah.
And then you have to pick another gift.
I'm familiar with this.
Okay, so Oh my God, dude. She showed up with these 2 shitty pillows from Dollar General, a mirror, and something else. It was the most ridiculous. Oh, fuck. But she would leave, and they would fight. They would be fighting over. They would end up with everything good. You know what I mean? Like they brought shit, but they'd end up with everything good. I just got fucking tired of it. I wouldn't even participate. And they were like, "Well, it's no fun without you." And it's like, no shit, because I'm the one that brings the real shit to the table.
Or she could just say, "Hey, man, I can't afford $400."
No, she thought it was funny. No, she thought it was
bow
funny.
out, just bow out. Hey, man, I ain't doing this. Just I can't do it right, so I don't feel right. But
no, she thought it was funny.
Like it was winning the lottery.
Yeah,
upgrading.
Yeah. So every Easter, we used to do a gold, silver, and a bronze egg. And, of course, she never had any money to donate to the golden egg. Because the golden egg would sometimes have $300 or $400 or $500 in it. Because all the adults would pitch in. Like whatever loose change you had in your pocket or whatever you wanted to donate. So I made sure every year that my kids got the gold, silver, and bronze. Every year.
Yeah, I went to one of these, and my buddy that threw the thing, he goes, yeah, it's just this blind gift exchange thing. Just bring like a $15, $20 gift. So I brought one for my son and me. We both went, and then it turns out it was supposed to be like 50 or 75. So I'm the dick with the cheap gifts, right?
Yeah.
But my buddy literally told me it's like a $15, $20 deal. Yeah, I mean, I felt like a shithead. I caught hell from people about it. They're like, Jesus, what the fuck? And Jerry's like, it was perfect because nobody wanted the shitty gifts and, but yeah, so I was like, fuck that concept, So I turned out to be the bad guy, even though I did exactly what I was told to do.
I'll tell you a funny one. Then we'll move on. But we were at a friend of mine's Christmas party. Friend of a friend, like just, kids' friends. They played soccer together. This guy actually just died. Dude, this guy was funny as shit, especially when he was drinking. He was, just funny as shit. And they kind of did that, but it was gag gifts. They were kind of. It wasn't
sex toys.
You just stole the show. No,
where else is this going to go other than sex and gag gifts?
Well, not gag, but it's kind of like the ugly sweater. The ugly Christmas sweater thing. You know what I mean?
Pound cake and a sweater and a dildo.
Oh my God, dude! And my ex-wife, she's extremely shy in public. Around people, especially people she doesn't know that well. But in general, she's pretty shy. And, man, she got her gift, and it was a box of fucking Christmas ornaments. Like
tree ornaments?
Yeah, like 1980s where the bulb, you had to connect the bulb to the top to hang it and all.
Yeah, had a little tweener
yeah.
paperclip looking spread thing, and
yeah.
Then it's got the loop on it.
Yeah. No, but it had the beads that you put around the tree, like those big beads. And that's what Kim in front of everybody goes. He goes, damn, man. He said, you got the best one. He said, what'd you get, anal beads?
She shit her pants, huh?
She doesn't know what the fuck anal beads are.
She does now.
But it was so fucking hilarious, man, because that was just how he was, man. And he didn't care who the fuck was around either. You know what I mean? Like, you could have been the governor of Texas and he would have still said it. It didn't matter who the fuck you were. That term,
as it should be.
Yeah.
If it's funny, it's funny. Hell, say it.
But he got drunk and he was trying to get gifts. He was like, "Hey, I got another one." And he went to bend over, but he fell into the Christmas tree. So the Christmas tree fucking falls over. He stands up and he's like, What? He's like, help! You know, like yelling at me because he's like, you know, man down! You know, help me. And everybody is just fucking got their mouths open, just like, what in the fuck is going on here? Because it went from good to just, whoa, what the fuck's going on here? Okay, so he grabs the tree and he stands it back up and he goes, fuck it, that'll work. You know, he's like trying to.
It's better than it was.
Yeah, it's not this way anymore. Okay, so all of a sudden, the wife, it's the same thing, dude. She used to get hammered, dude. It was just it was so entertaining just going over there for dinner. Because they would end up getting so drunk. Like one time, she was trying to bring out this cake, and you could tell she was a wine drinker, and she tripped over the what is it, the bottom of the door
Threshold.
Yeah, the threshold. And dude, I guarantee you, she spent like $300 or $400 on this cake having it made. Had all these strawberries and shit. I mean, she fucking fell into the wall with this whole fucking cake. So he's fucking with this tree. He's soaking wet because it's a real tree and his water spilled over and all this shit. He's just trying to rescue himself because he's tangled up in all this shit. And she's over there bawling, crying because her party's getting ruined. And he's just like, he goes, fuck it. That's what he was like, you know. It's exactly what he said. Just break out the fucking dildos. We're there now. You know? Yeah. And she's over there crying. And everybody's going, it's okay, it's okay. And everybody's just sitting there going, what the fuck just happened? You know what I mean? Like
the kids are licking cake off of the wall.
It was so out of control but it happened every time we went over there. Every time. Something.
Memorable parties, man.
Oh.
Better than just showing up and leaving. Nobody remembers shit.
Oh, my head hurts now. But he was like the best cook in the world, man. This guy, I'm telling you, fuck, he could cook, man. So it was always worth going over there because his food was so good. But yeah, once the alcohol started going, man, get out of the fucking way. I mean, Jesus. No, but I can't believe you said that. That's what he said. He said, fuck it. He walked out because he went to go change his clothes because he was sopping wet. He walked out of his bedroom and he goes, fuck it. Break out the dildos. We're there.
All right. I like this guy.
Oh, he just died. And I talked to him like a week before he died, too. Kim, shout out R.I.P. Kim Mosley, man. That guy was a legend. Oh, there was one time that I'll tell you one more and we'll move on. But this is how just some of our other friends, they get high and they smoke and all that. So, you know, he was like, hey, anybody holding, you know? And Kim had some shit stashed in his closet, probably 15 years old, you know. It's like smoking pepper, you know. And my buddy was sitting there trying to smoke, and he's like, is this fucking alfalfa or is it fucking, what is this shit? Or oregano? He's like, this isn't even.
It's not even green anymore.
No, it's what is this shit? And Kim was like, man, that was great back in 1985. That was the best stuff on the market. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Woo. Oh, my head hurts. Hold on one second. Jesus. Oh.
He had the last of the Noriega. So my one buddy always said about his weed, he'd always just call it the last of the Noriega.
Yeah.
Noriega went down somewhere in there, 85. It could have been the last of the Noriega he actually had.
Could have been. I was watching an interview with Steven Tyler the other day when he was younger. When you know how those fucking stupid ass reporters are. Yeah, so yeah. how much money have you made? And he's like, oh, I've made millions and millions and millions. And, and it was probably at one point, wasn't there a story where Steven Tyler lost a lot of money or something like that? I don't know. I don't know. But she was like, well, where did it all go? He said, up my fucking nose. That's where it went. He said, I probably snorted the whole fucking country of Peru. Right here. He said, to make it through the 60s and 70s like we did, that's where it went. Right up my nose. Next question. Fucking dumbass. But I thought that was a hell of a... So where'd all your money? He's up my nose.
Well, Aerosmith was notorious for just being train wrecks and being hammered on stage and forgetting lines to songs and just sounded like shit because they were all just
out of their
hammered.
Out of their fucking mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it was a funny... Cause you know how it just... Fucking reporters. Do they have to? Do they try that hard to be stupid? Or
yeah.
They
I don't know what it is, man. I cringe when, there's what? Oh, Michael Jordan, you just won the championship for the 7th time. What does this one mean to you? It's like, good God. Jim Gray, hey, are you going to come back next year? He goes, hey, can't I just enjoy this with my teammates? Jim Gray was famous for just asking the question nobody else would ask because they had enough respect not to ask. But Jim Gray would ask the question because, well, I'm a cutting-edge reporter. No, you're going to ask this question that the guy, the answer is, get the fuck away from me. But, he's a cutting-edge reporter. It was so...
Yeah.
Look that up sometime.
I think I saw it. I think it's on The Last Dance. Are you talking about Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on The Last Dance, that documentary.
Well, I watched it live happen, and I was like, oh, dear God, don't do it. And Jordan just goes, can't I just enjoy this championship with my teammates? I got plenty of time to worry about what I'm doing tomorrow. Right now,
wasn't it his last one?
Corks and
wasn't it his last one? Wasn't it their 6th one?
Whatever it was just. The speculation was Jordan going to be back or not, or was the team going to be back? And so Jim Gray's got asked over the top, stupid fucking question that everybody knows he ain't going to answer this. It'd be like asking anytime a politician goes on a talk show, so are you going to run for president? It's like, no, I ain't answered that. I mean, if you announce you're running for president, then all these laws kick in about financing and, setting up committees. And now all of a sudden a bunch of shit became illegal because you can do it, but if you're running, you can't. So as soon as you announce you're going, you better have your shit together.
Yeah.
But, every TV show wants to be the one where, are you going to announce tonight?
We got the breaking news.
Like, no, I ain't answering the stupid fucking question.
Just the media is fucking dead.
Yeah, I know. I hate them motherfuckers.
I don't even have a satellite dish.
They deserve to be hated.
Yeah,
they do.
They do. There's way many more means of getting your information on the fucking news now.
And they're just maggots.
They are.
And it ain't even news. It's propaganda. It's one-sided, lopsided shit. This girls' bill about, girls just playing sports and not having men play sports with them. It just passed the House. 100% of Republicans voted to ban transgender males from playing female sports.
Yeah.
0 Democrats. So are you going to tell me in this country, all over from shining sea to shining sea, not one Democrat thinks it might be just a little bit fucked up that dudes are playing sports with girls? Not one. That just tells you. And then they're going to lecture us about, common sense gun control. You don't even have enough common sense to know what a dude is. I mean, why can't I go play kindergarten kickball with some, 5-year-olds,
Yeah.
I'll just claim I'm a fucking 5-year-old. If you can claim you're a different sex, I'll just claim I'm 5.
Right. No, Pierce Morgan had a good one with this, woman on the whole transgender, and I identify as. He goes, "Can I identify as a black lesbian?" And there's a black lady sitting next to this lady that just burst out dying laughing like, yeah, answer that one, you fucking idiot. He's like, seriously, if you can identify as a male horse, sheep, then why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Yeah, and then go get some loans from the government for having a female-owned business.
Yeah.
Just identify as a woman and get some frickin' loans from the government that they don't give dudes. Minority-owned, women-owned. Hell, they'll throw money at them.
Well, that's the program. That's our government can get away with this bullshit. But how about you, Bud Light? They ain't getting away with it. Fuck, boy, that blew up in your fucking shit pisties and your post toasties.
Yeah, they deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all about inclusivity. Inclusivity of what? Who built Anheuser-Busch? She's like, we're trying to get away from the frat mentality of.
Oh, boy, they sure did.
Boy, howdy they did. Fucking A, they did.
Well, I think transsexual surgery is cosmetic surgery. See, if I wanted to go get my nose shrunk or something, my insurance company would go, that's cosmetic surgery. So if you got some dude saying, well, I'm a woman, so I want to, get my penis cut off, and I want my insurance to pay for it. Well, wait a minute. If you're already a woman, then, so what you're saying is to be a woman, you got to get your penis cut off, but then how are you already a woman? You can't have it both ways. Well, I'll be a more complete woman. I'm a woman, but I have a penis. I'm done playing your games. Yeah. And half of the country's done playing these stupid games.
I think, Don Jr. was on a podcast that this was being talked about, is that, it's, everything about Trump and, all the left hates him and blah, blah, blah. But Jr. was like, no. He's like, look, man, we still have Democrat friends. We live in New York. We still do business in New York. That's where our hub is. You know what I mean? Like, no, they don't all feel that way. But
the media tells you they all feel that way.
Yeah. That's what he's saying. He's like, they don't hate my dad the way that they portray that they hate my dad. Even Democrats. Not just he's like, look, but there's just people that can't. They're afraid of being. They would rather say I hate Trump than take the risk of being canceled.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's just easier to take that path, and you can still feel, even though they do feel a certain another way.
Well, anybody that gets canceled out there, come on in. The Most Man is wide open. If you're transgender, come on in. Just don't ask us to pay for your surgery, but you can come over. I'm being totally serious. I ain't got nothing against somebody that wants to, live that lifestyle. Just do it on your own time and don't make me have to treat you different.
Yeah.
I was told the whole time growing up, be colorblind, do this, do that. And I tried my best to do it. And then now I'm being told, well, that was the white way of doing things. And, that's all wrong. You know what? I ain't worried. All you hear about is, you'll be on the wrong side of history. Yeah, we'll see about that. Your warped, fucked up history or the history that under God.
Yeah.
I'll worry about me and God face to face. You worry about you.
Well, that's what I think this is. This is a true war between good and evil.
I see it coming.
America is. That's what our fucking problem is it's godless now. You know what I mean? Well, and not for everybody.
Well, not a big part of it.
Big part of it that is. You know what I'm saying? It's just it doesn't feel. It doesn't feel like America used to feel. Because America, one nation under God. Say the Pledge of Allegiance. It's man, those people, they're sick. They're sick, and I don't understand how anybody. I don't get how people could think like that. I just don't. Makes no sense to me.
Yeah, to have every Democrat
or they just do it on purpose to drive a wedge up everybody's ass.
It's got to be, because nobody's that stupid.
It can't. No.
You have 200, more or less, call it 200 Republicans, 200 Democrats. It's in the House. It's skewed a little bit, 219 to 2 whatever. But to have 0 Democrats go against their leadership just tells me that, then they're like, well, how come you're a Republican? It's because I'm damn sure not a Democrat. I don't agree with the Republicans. The Republicans are half pussies on a bunch of shit themselves.
That's
then
the
they
biggest
got
problem.
a whole lot of baggage. They got a whole lot less baggage than this cancel culture crap and the whole bit, man.
No, I agree, but they're pussies. That's their biggest problem. Is
they're pussies, but they're not total flaming idiots.
Right.
So I guess I'm stuck with the pussies instead of the total flaming idiots.
Right. Well, the flaming idiots, they think if they band together and yell louder than the pussies,
it's kind of works,
and it works.
Because
you get tired of hearing that. Just okay, we'll give you. It's like the kid that you're just like, okay, here's a piece of fucking candy, go.
I'll do my let go of the rope. They're gonna call me a racist. I'll just go, okay,
yeah.
If that, how about this one? I'll blow everybody's mind with this one. So you got, you're like the Holocaust. You're a Nazi. You're a Nazi. Oh, and like slaves. See, I used to think Hitler and the Nazis was bad, and I used to think slavery was bad. But the left explained to me it's not. They're like, this is as bad as slavery. I look at it, and it's like, oh, the guy's got a job. He just didn't get promoted. So that's as bad as slavery? I thought slavery was bad. I mean, I thought they chained people up and made them work for free and decided who they mated with and split up their families. I thought that's what went on. I didn't know it was this limp dick shit.
Yeah.
I thought the Nazis threw people in ovens and fucking put them in concentration camps and took the gold out of their fucking teeth. I didn't know it was because you didn't want to have a book in the school. So watch who you call a Nazi, you fucking idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, man, we can bring it up on the next one. Man, there's just no fucking loyalty anymore. You know what I mean? There's just no. It's like everybody says, you would never want to have another 9/11, but you would give anything to have a 9/12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just, what the fuck? But I don't know what they're.
We'll never have another 9/12.
No.
The world's the U.S. is just too split down there. If I was China, I wouldn't do a damn thing. Just wait. I mean, why get in a fighting war with the U.S. when we're cratering ourselves?
Yeah.
Every day we get closer to just having this being a shithole.
I agree. And that's why I'm saying that I'm looking. I'm not saying that I'm moving out of the United States, but I'm looking for when the shit hits the fan and this place goes down the shitter, I'm going to have me some other place in the world to go live. I will. Because like I said, we talked about it before. I feel like something big is going to happen in my lifetime. I don't know if it's going to happen in your lifetime, but I feel like it's going to happen in mine, or definitely in my kids' lifetime. And it's so sick. I mean, to take something so good that you couldn't have set it up any more perfect than it was set up, and if you can fuck this up, and they are I mean, there's no question.
And they're not done. They're just getting started fucking it up. It's got to be on purpose because nobody's that stupid. It's just all there is to it.
It has to be on purpose. Or they've got this master plan that they're all making all their money knowing that they're cratering it. You know what I mean? They're just all fucking in on the whole. Because they're all lining their fucking pockets. If people don't think that that's true, they're fucking nuts, man. They're up there lining their fucking pockets and getting theirs. And they probably got a place in Dubai. They're going to move to Dubai after it's all said and done.
Yeah, I think they're all just. I don't think they got the long plan other than crater the fucking country. It's got to be it because they're doing such a great job at it. But the government fucks everything up. There's nothing that they don't fuck up. So I guess my hope is that they try to fuck it up and they fuck up fucking it up and then it'll turn out okay. But they need to fuck it up so much to where your average person goes, you know what, man? I just can't hang with them fucking knuckleheads.
Well, It's like what happened to Bud Light. I think it's like what happened to Bud Light, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Okay, but people are okay. You don't want to hear our voice anymore. Well, you can hear my money. You know what I mean? Like. I thank God we live in Texas is all I can say, because I don't think I don't think Texas would turn on its own citizens. I don't think they would. I don't know if our military would turn on their own citizens. But when I'm not saying quit paying taxes or anything like that, but there's got to be something to where if they fuck it up so bad that it fucks it up for them, and we have kind of still a way out. You know what I mean? Like they're going to come running to us and be like, okay, we really fucked it up. Now we're willing to play ball. You know what I mean? And we say, no.
We fucked it up, but it was Trump's fault. They'll still blame it on Trump.
Well, it's always going to be his fault because, look.
It used to be Bush's fault.
Well, but here's the thing. That's why Trump is Trump who he is. Love him or dislike him, however you feel out there, I don't give a fuck. But that's why they hate him so bad, because an outsider came in and look at what he did in 4 fucking years. If we would just have people up there that just went up there and took care of fucking business, there is no way that anybody in the world could compete with us.
He went up there for 4 years and fought lawsuits and Russian disinformation.
And look how much he got,
and
how much shit he got done. With the whole deck stacked against him, look how much he got done. Like it was nothing. And like you said, he got fucking railroaded at every single... And he still got more done than anybody has ever gotten done in fucking 20, 30 years. It's disgusting. And I just don't understand how... Again, this will never be a political show, but I do... I don't understand that far. There's got to be something else behind their agenda. That's why they're pushing that craziness, because they know there's so many stupid people that'll buy onto it. But there's something way, because I don't even think the stupid people are that stupid.
Well, there's people buying guns now that never even wanted a gun, didn't need a gun, but they're watching what's going on in America and society and riots, and they're defunding the police, and people are coming to realization, man,
you got to protect yourself.
I may have to save my own ass,
yeah,
and my family's ass,
yeah.
And the government's like, well, you don't really need a gun, and they're thinking,
yeah, kind of.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking more than ever.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. That's just how it works.
Well, to me, it's so insane. I cannot believe that any adult with a brain in their head could think about what they do up there is fucking rational. It's insane. It's insanity.
Nobody would run a business like this.
No,
not at all. You couldn't. You'd be bankrupt or in jail, but they run it how they want to run it because they're the cops too.
Yeah, they don't. There's no consequences for them. We'll bail them out again for April 15th.
Yep.
Yeah. And
And Biden just got done saying that the Republicans had some budget that he called it, I forget what term he used. This was today. Like whack-a-mole or something, or, some idiot, like just a totally, he was like, oh my God, their budget proposal is just so fucking off. You're the dumb fucks that just printed like $3 trillion. And you don't even know where it's at. The Taliban's got a chunk of it. The Afghans got a ton of it. I mean, it's all over the place. School districts got it to put in air conditioners, and you can't even buy air conditioners because there was such a shortage of air conditioners, so the price went to the moon. So these school districts are paying 3 times more for shit than they need to, but it's all government money. And then Biden's going to say that the Republicans have a stupid budget. No budget could be as stupid as their budget, which they don't even have a budget. They just print money and spend it. So I refuse to be lectured by any of those folks.
No, I don't. But I have particularly checked out of politics. Like, as far, I don't let it raise my blood pressure anymore. I don't, you know what I mean? I listen to enough to hear what I need to hear for the day, and then I'm done. Because I get too emotionally invested, and there's nothing we can fucking do about it except, we can complain all day long.
Well, I think there's a lot more people getting opening their mouth than used to.
Oh, no, I agree.
Let this inflation keep going, and you'll see a whole bunch of people that said, I didn't have any shit. The guy that does some sheetrock work for me and stuff, the other day he said, I had nothing to do with politics until recently because now it's starting to affect my life.
Yeah.
Shout out to Edgar. And I bet you there's a whole lot of people in that camp that they wanted to stay out of it. They just wanted to go to work, raise their family, pay their bills, have a steak on the weekend. Now now a tank of gas is $100 and diesel's back to $4 a gallon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all going to get stupid again. But you need your average person to say, I'm not taking this anymore. Well, I voted Democrat because my parents voted Democrat and their parents voted Democrat, and we've always just been Democrats. Well, at some point, don't you have to say it's out of control and I don't want to be a part of it?
Well, here's what I think is going to change a big part of that. This new wave of kids, they don't give a fuck about going to college. I think that sooner or later, that's why they're giving all these free student loans and forgiveness and all that. They're trying to keep the college system alive. Whenever all these kids now are saying, fuck this.
They're indoctrination station.
Yeah, it's not. I think that because if you follow any of these young influencers or kids that are doing shit right now, you ask them, we'll learn it on YouTube. They can get on YouTube and learn anything. Anybody can. Hell, there's this one video guy. What is his name? Oh hell! But I'll think of his name. You probably don't know him. I didn't know him till I heard this one podcast that he was on. But he's young. He's only like 25, or he might be close to 30 or somewhere in there. But he's, his mom threw him out of the house because he said, I'm going to learn how to do videos on YouTube. Like, that's what I want to do is live my life behind a camera. But he ended up doing like he does all these hip hop videos and all these music videos. So he's like,
yeah, he took it serious and followed through, not just I just want a reason not to have a job.
But his mom thought he was fucking nuts because she was like, you gotta go to. And he's like, no, you don't. He said, I learned it on YouTube. Why do I have to go to college? And kids don't want to go to college. My kids don't. Now, my middle daughter will because she's got scholarships for soccer and all that kind of stuff. But, and she wants to go get her MBA and all that. She's business. But, a lot of these kids, they don't want to go to college. And I think that's what's gonna make a major shift is when the colleges start. Just think about it. If people aren't, that's the whole thing with Andrew Tate is he's got his own university, okay, that costs $50 a month, and kids are making 5, 10, 50, 100 grand a month. Everybody that's in his university or professor, they're all fucking multimillionaires making money on things that make money, not flipping burgers or going to college. So that's his whole movement. That's why they hate him so bad, and that's why they try to cancel him, is because he's got and hell, after what they did to him, locking him up and doing all that, he's going to have over 500,000 people in his there's already probably over 250,000 people in it now in his university. And now that they canceled him or did all that stuff to him, it's going to, especially because the charges aren't even there. It's going to do exactly what they did to Trump. They're trying to, it's going to backfire in their fucking face because everybody sees what's going on.
But a lot of people on the left love it. They're like,
yeah,
screw Trump. You know, that they sold their soul to
well, the nerds have a little bit of power. That's what it is.
Well, they're with the left, the end justifies the means. So if you have somebody with principles, they're like, okay, I want to beat you, whether it's in a court of law or in business, but I have a set of principles and I'm going to go by these principles. The left are like, hey, man, we need to win, and we don't give a shit how we get there. And I'm not saying conservatives or Republicans or saints and all of that, but if you've got any kind of moral compass and you're like, man, I can't lie, cheat, or steal that bad, or I'm not going to do that,
for money.
That's unethical. Yeah, I'll burn in hell if I do that. Man, there's so many people like, fuck hell. You know, I'm climbing to the top, whether I got to cut your legs off with a chainsaw or not.
But I was listening to Bongino yesterday, and that he had this on his, was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday. But anyway, he had, you know, how they're talking about, you know, how we're complaining that the election was stolen and all this, that, and the other. He got somebody in his producer room or whatever, or somebody came up with this video of all of when Trump won the first time.
Yeah.
How all the Democrats were saying that how easily hackable these machines were and how, you know what I mean?
I remember all them fuckers.
I know, but he timed it. Like he put them all together.
Like a montage.
Yeah, and it was like 30 minutes of just, but it was quick clips. But it was 30 minutes of just one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all screamed bloody murder, and then they swore to God they didn't.
Yeah.
It's on tape, you stupid fuckers.
Yeah. And how you can just look at people in the face and think we're stupid.
Yeah, they blow smoke up everybody's ass, and they know they're lying through their teeth, and they don't care. That's the whole thing. They'll go to their grave swearing to God what they're saying is true, and they know they're lying through their teeth because it's for the greater good. Well, you don't get to decide what the greater good is every time, you know. The greater good is...
It's godless, man.
It is godless.
Yeah.
It is. It's...
I mean, I'm not here to preach to anybody, but I mean,
it's end times, man. They're coming for your children. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the Bible it talks about that they'll come for your children, and I'll kiss your ass if our children, you know, and hey, what about school vouchers? You know, we can have better school. Oh, no, you know, you got to keep that teacher union money going. You know, you got to keep that machine rolling.
Right. Produce taxpayers.
Oh, you can't homeschool because your kids might not think how we want them to. It's so freaking obvious.
But here's here's another thing too. Okay, so I'm bus shopping for the bus.
Yeah.
And that's why honestly it's almost cheaper for me to buy one of those than a fifth wheel or a travel trailer. You know what I mean? Like, because people are saying fuck it. Because have you ever asked yourself driving by one of those places, you're like, Jiminy Christ, how can they sit on that much fucking inventory?
Yeah, I have.
You know what I mean? Well, I went up to this one place the other day, and he was like, so what's your time frame? You know, we're riding down the golf cart looking at stuff. He said, so what's your time frame? And I said, probably, month and a half. And he slammed on the brakes, and he's like, well, you're wasting your time. He said, this will all be gone between 15 and 30 days. None of this will be here.
Yeah, but you still need to educate yourself on what features exist and what you want or what you don't want.
But I'm just saying that's what he said. No, he said this stuff, we don't keep anything over 30 days. He said, if it doesn't move in 30 days, it's in the auction. Or he said, but what the big movement is right now, and I've heard it from several different dealerships, is families are saying, fuck it. They're taking their kids out of school. They're living on the road, traveling, homeschooling. Fuck all that. People are sick of it.
Yeah. If I was growing up in the inner city with a couple kids, I'd get the hell out of there.
But he said it happens. And because my brother-in-law, I remember I was going to buy a travel trailer because me and Quinn were going to start doing the hunting thing. And he told me, he said, I remember when he bought it, he was like, yeah, he said, I gave $30,000 for this. And I was like, damn, that's cheap. Because this is decked out, but it's a travel trailer. Pull it behind your truck. But his is, decked out. So I go to look at them, and they're like, oh, these are 80, 85, 90. I'm like, well, where's your $30,000 ones? And he was like, those don't exist anymore. He said COVID changed that, and people are buying these things left and right. Because I called my cousin, my brother-in-law. I'm like, hey, dude, where the fuck did you buy this trailer you're talking about for $30,000? He said, oh, McLean's up there off 35, blah, 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 blah. And I go up there, and they're like, oh, no. When did he buy his? And I was like, about 3 years. And they're like, yeah, that's over.
Yeah, before COVID, or right when it was starting?
It was before COVID. Yeah. Because he was kind of bitching. He was like, man, I really didn't want to part with that much money. Because he was worked for the city, and he was getting ready to retire. So everything that he was doing was part of his retirement plan. You know what I mean? And he's like, man, I really didn't want to, but I went ahead and spent the money. And I was like, dude, do you know? I mean,
he lucked into it.
Fuck yeah, he did. So, but man, I really, really, truly believe that we are going to see a shift, especially in the education system. Because people are even saying fuck public schools and just home.
Well, what you get is the people who want to get out because it's crazy get out, but then that leaves the people either who can't get out or they're like fine with how it's going. So you're just going to have a cabal of, there's just like-minded people going up through the education system.
But hey, man,
and none of them can read. 30% literacy rate. I just saw a big thing about it. 30% of high school kids can't read at a high school rate. So these kids are going to graduate from high school. How the hell can you go to college if you can't read? Well, they just keep lowering the standards and lowering the standards and lowering the standards. So
how do you fuck this up?
It's the day's going to come when you walk into a job interview and they're going to go, what's your, here on your resume, it doesn't say you have any college. Well, let's just talk for a half hour or get one of your college boys in here and let me debate them over this job. See if I don't just run circles around them and whip their fucking ass. Guess who's going to get the job? Unless it's a woke freaking corporation, then you don't get the job. But if it's a guy who's really trying to make money for him or herself, you guess who he's going to hire.
Well, and that's another thing, too, is that commercial real estate, now that they all fucking cried this COVID bullshit, everybody's got to stay home, work from home. We can't go to public places and this, and now all of a sudden they're losing money on all these taxes and all these property taxes on these big fucking buildings because everybody's like, fuck no, we don't want to go back. No, we're perfectly fine here. We're paying property tax at our house. And just think of how much money these corporations are saving because they're not paying for this 5 floors and some sky rise. Or a bunch of people sitting around fucking going, hey, what are you doing this weekend?
Or they move so then they're going to bring everybody back, but they bought some abandoned strip shopping center over here for pennies on the dollar because it's vacant. They rehabbed it, and now they're not paying, the super duper high dollar.
Well, not
rent.
It's these liberals like out in all these liberal like New York, California, all these places where oh no, we're not opening. But now all of a sudden they're crying because they're not making any revenues on their buildings and their, you know what I mean?
And they're crying to the federal government to bail them out,
Yeah.
which means we bail them out with our hard-earned tax dollars because they did stupid shit. I'm sick of helping people who do stupid shit.
Let go of the rope.
Let go of the rope. Let them fall on their ass. Back up right into the ocean. Splash.
Yeah. No, it's a mess, dude. But
Hell, it'd probably be cheaper to wind up unemployed and on food stamps and every other kind of government assistance. By the time I make a living and pay my taxes, what I get to keep.
I was listening to a commercial on that on the way back from some girls on YouTube educating women on how to have kids and how to have babies and how to get free daycare. And that's what her channel is about. It's how to get welfare, WIC, free daycare, and
any other possible subsidy.
Yeah.
Know.
Why would you want to work in America when the taxpayers are paying for all this? This is what we need. This is what you need to do.
When it crashes, boy, it's going to be vicious.
Oh, yeah.
You can only juggle all this stupid shit so long.
Yeah, see how long that fucking block of Velveeta cheese lasts, you fucking mooch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll be the cold-hearted people who are like, well, yeah, I'll donate a little bit to the food bank over there. Oh, you got all that money.
Yep.
Well, I've been working the whole time. You've been mooching.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep it.
I've been eating bologna at home to save my money. Well, you got money. Why don't you give it to these people?
I did it again to that there's that one hobo that stands at the where I get my seltzers that I buy, Specs. I rolled down my window the other day and said, "Hey man," I said, I got some work. I said, "Hop in the back of the truck." You know. Oh no. All of a sudden he shut that sign and took off walking back towards the front. I was like, "That's what I thought, you fucking mooch." You know.
Yep.
How many people offer you work? I told you about the time where some lady handed him a bottle of water and he took it. I mean, he had the show face on, man. He chugged it like, and he looked up like he hadn't had a drop of water in a month, you know.
Like doing a screen test.
Yeah, and then the light changes and he's like, okay, back to normal. You know, it's like, you fucking dickhead. You know.
Yeah, that's the hand we're dealt in this country anymore.
Don't be a most man. There's so many of them out there. All right, we're going to get out of here, man. All right. Remember, like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMusic, themostmen.com, info@themostmen.com. Join the men's club. Get your man kit. Man kits are on the way. I've got the template. So we're close, real close. Be right. Y'all guys have a good one. See you next time.